Good afternoon, all of you all. 1988 is when I was born and when you graduated, sir. So, today's topic, and I'm going to keep it pretty crisp, pretty quick. Why I wrote 24 books before I turned 40 and what it taught me about purpose. So most people dream about writing their first book, and I've done 24 before I've turned 40. But the real question is why? So these are some of the books. Real estate is my passion. I practice as a real estate developer and I write about real estate. So let's go to the backstory. As a young MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies with an All India third rank and an MBA in finance, I joined an international property consulting, JLL India, as the EA to the CEO. Spent 2 years over there, looked at the organized side of real estate. Joined my family business as a third generation real estate entrepreneur. And there was a world of chaos, confusion, and opaqueness. And that is where it stuck to me, that there was so much confusion amongst all the stakeholders, whether it was the developer, whether it was the home buyer or the brokers. There was lack of documented knowledge. So research was the start point. If you all notice, FMCG companies spend crores on doing market research for a simple product which is worth 10 rupees. Real estate is worth crores. And how does it really work? It works on the gut feel of the promoter. The only mantra there is location, location, location. But clearly, it had to change. And that is where real estate was shaping for 10 years back. And which is where I thought that let me arm myself up with a PhD in real estate. So that is where my journey started to doing India's first PhD thesis on the topic of REITs, which is Real Estate Investment Trust. There was huge demand for documented data. Call it the beginner's luck. My PhD thesis converted into a book, and because it was too technical, I authored a simple one for the layman, which also became the second book, and that went on to be the Amazon #1 bestseller. And with the beginner's luck, I sold more than 5,000 copies. Started getting calls all across India because REIT was a new topic, and this was the first thesis in India which covered that. The author in me awakened. So persistence is the key. Writing 24 books is not genius. It's all about persistence. So how did I go about doing this? I will share with you my secret mantra. So firstly, identify the knowledge gap. Identify a topic. Then go about writing 15 to 16 chapters which you would like to cover as part of your book. Once you have the spine ready, put in 4 or 5 points which you would like to cover in each of the chapter. And that is where you would have to reflect back, thinking about the flow, if there are any repetitions which are over there. If you've successfully cleared this stage, which relatively looks easy but isn't when you start penning down, you've actually crossed 60% of the hurdle. And then comes the relatively easier part, which otherwise is perceived to be the more difficult one, which is filling in content. Once you've done that, the book is ready. One chapter at a time and target about 20-25,000 words. And that is where you will have your first book ready. So knowledge is power, and which is where I noticed that different stakeholders, documented data means different things for them. For the home buyers and investors, it was about informed decision making. For professionals, it was about efficiency and strategy. For policymakers, it was about shaping different policy frameworks. For students and academicians, it was about reference material and practical insights. And for housing societies, it was the redevelopment guide. And lastly, for the developer, research meant rewards. Because ultimately, it is about putting in the right supply. Unlike Lego, you cannot undo the concrete which is poured into making a structure. So if market research is done prior to going to the drawing board, it can be a visiting card. So whenever you meet someone, that could be your introduction. Authors are perceived to have authority on the subject. They enjoy credibility. Something, again, which is very valuable in a sector that I operate in. Recognition is a byproduct. Democratize knowledge. I think this is a single thought that I would want to leave everyone with. And knowledge hoarded is opportunity wasted. Knowledge is a gift that you could really give to the next generation. So don't wait for perfect. Imperfectly shared knowledge is always better than knowledge which is hidden but perfect. Identify that one piece of knowledge which you believe could help someone and go on to document it. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Share it with the world. So why I wrote 24 books, the question with which we started the talk and my last slide, because I wanted it to be the bridge. If each one of us dares to document what we really perceive to be helpful for the world, we will not only be building various factories and industries, we will actually be building future leaders. Books outlive you. Keep writing. And I would reiterate my last thought. Books outlive you. Keep writing. Thank you.